Hi guys. I don't know if you remember the last time I said we would start with the mission from Officer Gallant. So we will do that. Essentially, you can see I already have two missions in my journal. One is the Explorer from the Booster Gold missions. The other one we'll do a bit later. We'll do the Gallant one first.
Brainiac is attacking. He's targeting sites to bottle and bombarding us with troops. We need your help before it
Essentially,
gets
we're going to
worse.
fight a lot of robots. And if you've noticed, I've got mail. There's that little envelope underneath the minimap. So let's go see what I got. That's a neat one. Ooh, a new helmet. So let's use that.
Anything in particular you're interested in purchasing today?
So just a reminder for if you never saw the other videos yet. Essentially, I'm doing a series of videos to help out new player, hopefully, and also to test out the new character progression since Game Update 47. So essentially, this is what we're going to do with these videos.
This is Oracle. Brainiac's forces are attacking.
I hate when I do that. Sometimes you'll see things like that, like people are blocking the doors. Sometimes I guess some people are doing it by accident, but sometimes you'll see some people being idiots and doing that on purpose. So let's talk to our friend Gallant again. I'm not sure why we have to talk to him like twice to trigger the mission.
This is Oracle. You took out a Brainiac
But that's
ship,
how it is.
so taking
So
out his forces on the ground should be a cakewalk. He's staging his front line nearby. Head over there and kick some can.
as you can see, there are people who somehow decide to stay in the doorway and not move. Why? We'll never know. There we go. So we have to go talk to the sergeant over here.
These are some mean robots. Cover me while I kill some hard drive.
Damage sustained. Engaging enemy. Initiating combat. Target coordinates traced. Critical damage. Minor damage. Systems failing.
This is a pretty straightforward mission. Essentially, we have to kill 20 world robots. It's pretty much that simple. Although it's the first mission in a chain of mission, but it's pretty straightforward.
Status.
And we're done. So don't need to stay here.
Brainiac must know we mean business. He's
Now
targeting my comm signals. Hang on.
Now we have access to the second part of the mission.
Finally, a signal. Get ready to move. Brainiac is capturing other exobyte targets, so he's definitely
A blue
planning to bomb the
exclamation
whole
point.
place.
Let's take
Save
that.
those people and take them to the
Lois Lane reporting for Daily.
So one of the things we have to do, we have to take these citizens and bring them over here. You can see the arrow telling you where to go.
One thing is sure, even with the conflict between Superman and Lex Luthor, or Wonder Woman and Circe, the only enemy they all have in common is Brainiac. Stay tuned for more as the battle against this alien invader plays out.
And we have to destroy 15 of that kind of robot, like the accumulators. So I usually do the balls first. I guess I get rid of that, and then I'll do the robots. And luckily, a few spawned pretty close, so that was quick for that. So as you can see, the grenade, it's like a sticky grenade. It sticks to the robot, and then you can see a little animation of the robot trying to get rid of the grenade, and then it explodes. It's a pretty neat ability. And also, if you remember, if you see underneath my name, you can see the little green starburst, which indicates that I have a bonus to my attacks. So essentially, the first thing in the fight that you should always do is cast one power. Ideally, the one that gives you the biggest bonus to your attack. And then regularly cast another power to keep that little starburst, that green starburst underneath your name. So as long as the starburst is there, it's telling you that you do have the bonus to attack. So usually the first powers you have give you 35%, and it can go up to 60% depending on the power and depending on the power. Some powers will give as high as 60%, but usually those who give 60% have some drawback. Like it's going to be either a power that's long to cast, or that requires a lot of energy, or that has a long cooldown. So you can't really rely on just casting the one that gives you 60%. Sometimes you're going to have to mix it up a bit.
Hang on. Crucial information. Switching signals.
On here or something. Again, these exobits. Oh, I got a feat. These exobits, I'll explain later on what they're actually doing. It'll make more sense once we gain access to the crafting. It will make more sense if I explain it then. So essentially, if you see these exobits, you gather them, and at some point they will be useful. Just not yet.
Target coordinates transfer. Critical damage. Initiate attack. Alpha protocol. Subduing target. Target locked.
So essentially, we need 5 of those towers and 15 robots, 15 Brainiac robots. So that's 2. When there's other players around, sometimes you have to fight a bit in order to get the tower, but it's usually not a big deal. They usually respawn pretty quickly. So even if someone steals your tower, just wait a bit. There'll be another one. Ideally, if you play like at 3 a.m., there's no one else, like as you can see. So that's probably the best time to do these kind of missions. On PC, it's also even a bit easier because even at during peak time, there's barely anyone on the PC servers. So it's essential on PC. You're pretty much almost playing a single player game. once in a blue moon, you'll see another player on PC.
Objective in sight.
So if you don't want to fight other players for the objectives, playing on PC is a good option for that, I guess. But then later on, when you want to make a group, the low population can be a problem on PC. Hopefully, before
Nice
long,
aim.
they'll give
Those were
us
the comma
the
rays messing with my
crossplay
signal.
the
All
crossplay
systems go,
options.
and Brainiac doesn't even know what hit him. Head back to the safe house for a hero's welcome.
So essentially, we're done with these missions. We have to go back to the police station and complete the mission. Again, you can see people just standing in the door. Why? No idea. So we'll talk
We've
to our
all
friend
got to
Galliant
unite
again.
against Brainiac. Glad you're out there fighting for
Finish the
us.
mission. Okay, so it's our first neck piece, so let's equip that. And also, this is a collection we gathered a bit earlier, so let's consume that. And that's pretty much it.
Anything in particular you're interested in purchasing today?
So we're going to repair our gear. Essentially, whenever you go to the vendor, just take the habit of repairing. When you're there, there's no reason not to repair unless you're out of cash or something. We could buy. No, we can't really. Level 9. So as you can see, there are some pieces that have level requirements or restrictions, depending how you want to see that. So we can't. There's not much we can actually buy at this point. We could buy a few potions, I suppose, but no, a few colas. But I already have 2 extras, and we're going to replace those pretty soon, anyways. Oh, why not? I told you we wouldn't. I wouldn't do the booster gold missions with you guys because it's a bit boring. So, but essentially we have room for one more ring, and that's what the mission will give us. So I'll just take a few minutes to do the booster mission that I have already in my journal. Those missions do a couple of things. The first thing, obviously, is they give a bit of experience, which is never bad. It's never a bad thing to gain more experience points. Also, they usually give rings. So if you don't have a ring, or if you don't have a good one, and you could possibly get a better one, it's worth it to do those missions. But also, it helps you explore the map a bit. There's a few feats for exploring certain areas of the map, and sometimes just doing those missions, you'll also get the explorer by accident, sort of.
Bane is back in Gotham.
Essentially, the next bunch of quests will be in
And
this
now his
area.
gang is selling the stuff all over the East End. Venom's a short-lasting steroid, not your typical street drug. Take some samples for analysis, and get that venom off the streets.
You could see a few people doing those missions.
This is the Cape Carmine Lighthouse, a beacon of light in the midst of gloomy waters. The lighthouse is a well-known landmark in Gotham, though few have ever stepped foot inside. I suggested that they convert the light into a booster gold signal, but they weren't interested.
You can see the purple dot on the map. That's a villain character, a villain player. On the PvE map, the villains are purple. But if you ever go on the PvP open world, then the villain players will be red dots.
Gotham's East End was once one of the wealthiest areas of the city, but it is now a sad monument to that.
So essentially, when they're purple dots, there's nothing you can do. You cannot fight them.
Only those with little regard for their own life dare to walk these crime-ridden streets.
And sometimes you can even team up with them. There was this one villain with whom one of my characters teamed up with, where we fought a bunch of sub-avatars in South Gotham. It was a pretty fun evening. We fought a small army of those sub-avatars between the two of us, and it was great. We had a lot of fun. And even though we weren't in the same faction, well, we made a good team. I knew I could hear something. Sometimes you can barely hear the exhibits or the collections in the background, and you have to look for them a bit. So as you see, there's the interrogation mark to tell us that the mission is finished. And then we have to go into our journal to complete the mission, and we have our ring. So, and that's the collection we gathered a bit earlier. So let's take the ring, equip it, and we have both our rings equipped. You can see the ring we had. Essentially, the first Booster Gold mission gave us a level 4 ring. Now it gave us a level 7 ring. And essentially, if we do some of the other booster gold missions, the next rings will be a bit higher and a bit higher, depending on the booster gold missions. And as I said, it's usually a nice extra experience points, and in addition to getting the ring, so it's always worth getting. So essentially, our next mission will be
Bane is
on
back
the
in town.
docks, where we
He uses
were
venom
just a
to
bit
fuel his
before.
immense strength and brutality. And now his gang is selling the stuff all over the East End. Venom's a short-lasting steroid, not your typical street drug. Take some samples for analysis, and get that venom off the streets.
Sometimes you can see some pretty neat characters that the player made. I'm just trying to find a few. There's some looks that are more popular than others. So there's some of the pieces from the character creation that you get early on that a lot of people will use, and there's some other pieces that almost no one uses. Like you can see these two guys have the same coat, but with the various other accessories, oh, they even have the same pants. But by changing the colors and by having different accessories, they they do look a bit different. And of course, you'll have Superman. There isn't that many Superman, strangely enough, but there's sometimes a few. And of course, you have names like The Pain. For Superman, that's pretty close. That's as close as you can get to the actual look. Maybe taking off the shoulder pads, but that's pretty much it for Superman. You can't really make something that really looks like Superman, but you can get close enough, I guess. Like you can see the X7 Bones used the pre-made Batman character you can get early on. Like a guy with the steel, part of the steel suit. Like you can see a purple dot on the map. There's a villain nearby.
Run for your lives!
You can see exclamation points, which are quests that we could take, but we'll take them later. Essentially, I know we're gonna have to come back in this area, so when we do, we'll take that mission at the same time. I can hear something. Oh, there it is. So essentially, our next mission is here at the docks. So there's a lot of Venom thugs, I guess, or Bane thugs that we're going to have to fight. But I think we'll keep that for the next time. I'm going to keep this video short for today. But next time we're going to start over here. We're going to start fighting all those thugs. Essentially, they're Bane thugs who are using something known as Venom, some sort of juice that gives them super strength for a bit. So essentially, it's some sort of super steroids, sort of. So we'll stop it for now, and next time we'll. Oh, there's a collection over here. Early on, there's no reason not to get whatever collections you can see or exhibits. If you see something that you can gather, there's no reason not to. And essentially gathering those eventually will give you, sometimes they'll give you a piece of gear, sometimes they'll give you just a style. And of course, the more you gather, the more you have chances to get certain feats. So it's always a good thing to get those collections. So we're gonna stop it we're going to stop it now. And next time we'll start right over here, and we'll fight those Bane thugs. So until next time.